Here alongside Hayden Ducker, the Ohio State Buckeyes in women's lacrosse. It is a beautiful spring day, about 52 degrees here in Clifton. Sun is shining, and we're excited to be with you here as the Bearcats take on the Buckeyes.
Yes, we are. This will be the first time that Cincinnati has played on Nippert Stadium. Their last game, that would have been a home game, they had to play in an indoor facility due to the snow. So this one will be really nice to kind of see on their first time out at Nippert. We've got starting lineups kind of going on here. Should be a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. Both these teams know each other pretty well, have played quite a few times in the past. Ohio State does have the edge over the Bearcats in the all-time series. Buckeyes lead that series 11-2. With these teams have played as recently as just last season. Bearcats traveled up to Columbus to take on the Buckeyes. That game, Ohio State winning by a final score of 10-9. A very interesting game going into overtime. Definitely a very competitive one for these two teams.
Yeah, I mean, their last two games have gone into overtime, so we may see a third game into overtime here. It would be fun. Ohio State alumni. She's in her, the Cincinnati head coach, she's in her 14th season coaching for Cincinnati here. Cameron Callahan, another interesting note, was a UC Bearcat. In Columbus. Seems like she's doing very well there over at Ohio State.
Yeah, absolutely. Cameron Callahan, a graduate of Upper Arlington High School up there in Columbus, Ohio. She decided to take the drive up 71, take her talents to Ohio State. Top scorers for the Buckeyes this season. She has 4 goals on the season, 5 assists in 2. Definitely does run through Callahan here for these Buckeyes.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how Callahan fares against the Cincinnati defense. So a defense that she's probably known and communicated with her teammates about how to kind of attack this Cincinnati defense, being that she's kind of an inside man almost for Ohio State.
Yeah, definitely a lot of familiarity there for Callahan. And star for the Buckeyes, Kate Tyak, with 6 goals on the season. Those two do lead the charge for these two teams. Now, after starting lineups are done, we will get ready for the national anthem. So we will draw here on Bear. And we join you back here from Nippert Stadium. Colin Kunz alongside Hayden Ducker getting ready for the opening draw as the Cincinnati Bearcats taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes, and Morgan Hansel out for the Bearcats. Hansel, the one we probably expected to be out there for. Now looking over to Harlan for the Buckeyes. Ohio State kind of spreads out their draw controllers a little more than the Bearcats do. Bearcats rely more on Hansel to take most of those. Ohio State kind of switches between a couple of different players they have to take those draw controls, so we'll see if we see a couple of different players throughout this game today.
Yeah, despite just using Hansel, Cincinnati wins most of their draws. About 67%-ish of their draws they're able to win, and even despite using just Hansel, opponents aren't really able to work against her. She's just kind of their girl, and she's doing great at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Hansel definitely one of those key factors for this Cincinnati offense. She can get them the ball and get them going. Cincinnati crowd here is pumping it up as they like to do as the official heads out to midfield, getting ready to get this game in action.
Yeah, everybody's just kind of standing around with anticipation, waiting for the draw to commence here.
Surrounding the draw for Cincinnati is Elise Keels and Haley Joy Simpson. Simpson, another one of those star players for the Bearcats. On the outer circle for the Buckeyes, number 9, Campbell Stone. Alongside her, number 15, Mackie Stickler. Now both girls ready at midfield as the official gets ready to get us underway. Hansel and Harlan standing with anticipation. Official still getting them set.
Official steps out of the way here.
Ball is up in the air, and ball is floating around. Hansel able to knock it up and control it. She will move towards the offensive side for the Bearcats. Quick burst of speed towards the middle. Ball knocked away, loses it. Now she's able to get it up top near the 20-yard line. Bearcats getting their offense in action. Paige Selhorn has it. Close sideline. Now she'll take it back behind to X. Now driving around looking on GLE. Found a cutting Simpson, but the pass was not able to be completed. Buckeyes keeper will step in.
Torres is Ohio State's keeper. She's been really good this season. Her defense as Ohio State now has an offensive possession here.
Ohio State will look to work on the offense. They'll take it up top center field. Buckeyes now have it close. They're just working around, keeping it outside. Have it at X. Buckeyes still working around. Callahan has it. Now up top center field, now far side. Buckeyes keeping it around that outer arc. Cincinnati defense staying tight. Buckeyes still trying to find an edge. Looking for get it. Retreating out. Maddie Paz on the opening goal for the Buckeyes.
Paz is an excellent shooter for the Buckeyes. She's got 8 points on the year, shooting. This will be her second goal on the season, so more of an assist person for Ohio State, but with her the game here starting off, Ohio State is.
They had a very slow possession there on offense for the Buckeyes, but they took their time, were able to find a patient goal. Now again, we'll head out for the draw. Still Harlan out there for the Buckeyes, and of course Hansel for the Bearcats. We'll see if Hansel can take another one here early. Ball is up. Harlan is able to corral it. Now Buckeyes going to get their offense in action. They'll sub some players on the field. Now Cameron Cal. Buckeyes keeping it slow, passing, waiting to get their players on the field, getting their offensive package out there. Buckeyes now look to get it at X. Thought about wrapping the crease, now they'll pass it around.
Cincinnati's defense kind of working around that inner circle here, just kind of playing a border, trying not to let Ohio State cross inside.
Stone driving, tried to make a look. Bearcats stayed tight. LaRuffa on the good defense. Ohio State again still looking for an edge. Now a missed pass headed towards the sideline.
Cincinnati's defense, as I said, kind of working that inner edge, waiting for Ohio State to make a mistake, and sure enough, they do. And now Cincinnati has an opportunity on offense to kind of get a point back.
Bearcats now look to get their offense set up. Bearcats have it at X with Selhorn. Now Bearcats will get it back up top. Now Bearcats moving slow on their offensive possession. Still looking to find a shot. Haven't found one yet today. Bearcats have it at X. Trying to make a dodge. Was counts.
Kind of see Cincinnati confuse Ohio State's defense here.
Stelter has it. Now she passes it up top to Keels. Keels trying to make a dodge. Takes the right side. Looking for a shot. Gets there. Stop made by Ohio State. Very nice stop there, made by the legs of.
Better stop and better shot and better stop for Torres there.
Some very nice defense being played by Cincinnati. Selhorn was able to knock it out of the stick, and now they'll take over on offense again. Bearcats still looking to find a goal. Buckeyes up 1-0. 11 minutes, 20 seconds left to go here in this first quarter.
It almost looked like there was some confusion there at midfield. Miscommunication by Ohio State that led to the turnover in Cincinnati's offensive possession now.
Bearcats now just passing it around the perimeter. You have it up top corner of the field. Driving down is Wolf. Now she'll pass it out. Now pass back to
right
Wolf.
In there.
And a goal for Lexi Wolf and Cincinnati.
It looked to me like it was just a pass back right into the goal. Torres kind of took a breath there as it passed back behind her net. Didn't even see Cincinnati coming in, and sure enough, passed right back and right into that top right corner.
Nice play there for the Bearcats. They find equalizes things here with the Buckeyes with just under 11 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Now both players still Hansel and Harlan out for the draw.
Seems to me like these are going to be the two girls that are the draw controllers for most of the game here. Seems like there's confidence from both teams and these players.
Ball is up, going towards the sideline. They get on it with Keels. Now Keels now moving quick in pace. She'll switch to her left hand. Lots of Buckeyes in the area, but she takes it to Selhorn has it. Selhorn taking it to the middle of the field. Ohio State trying to set up their defense. Now cutting. Now at the crease. Trying to spin around. Couldn't find anything. Was counts. Ball is on the ground. And Ohio State defense will safely knock it away to Torres.
It almost looked like Ohio State kind of just kicked it over to Torres so she could just scoop it up and pass it calmly to one of the defensive players. A very smart move by Ohio State to kind of kick it to your goalie and make it so that you're not panicking almost when you've got so many players that were crowded in the box there.
Buckeyes now on the offense. Callahan has it. She'll pass down to GLE. Now looking for a cut. Couldn't find anything in the middle. Pass bounced on the ground but was able to be corralled. Coleman got it for the Buckeyes. Now again, Ohio State has it at X, looking for that crease still. Now they'll pass back up.
Got a little bit of defense cheering from the student section for Cincinnati.
Now in the middle of the field, it's Hargraves. Very nice defense being played by the Bearcats. Cincinnati crowd is loving it. Simpson there with the step up. But it looks like Simpson may be a little bit too aggressive on the defense. Will be a foul called on her, and the Buckeyes will be shooting a free possession shot.
Hargraves here with the ball here.
Hargraves, big burst of speed, finds the right side of the goal, is able to sneak it right past Cincinnati and Kerr.
It's all about the corners in lacrosse, top right, top left, and sure enough, Hargraves with the top right shot, right past the goalie's grab there.
Yeah, and Bella Kerr just not. Braves again gives Ohio State the lead. They're up 2-1 over the Bearcats. And again, Ohio State just kind of taking these long, drawn-out possessions. No urgency. They're really just looking to get anything they can. And on that one, actually getting a little lucky after the foul was committed by Cincinnati. They were able to get that free possession shot.
Yeah, almost just trying to find a hole, staring at a wall and just breaking it down slowly but surely to try and find a hole. And they've done so in the last couple offensive possessions here.
Hansel on the draw control when she took it herself. Now pass it down to the Cincinnati offense to get started. Selhorn has it. She hits the deck.
Looked to me like Ohio State's Hawes just kind of pushed her a little bit and made her fall over, and that's kind of what drew the foul. Little rough and tumble. It'll happen. It's just kind of how the game is played.
Now the Bearcats facing a free possession shot. It's Paige Selhorn. We'll see what she can do. Selhorn, big burst of speed, trying to shoot low. Can't sneak it past Torres. Beautiful stop by Jocelyn Torres in the Buckeyes.
Yeah, as I said, kind of thought about the corner, decided to try and bounce it down past the goalie, and wasn't able to do so.
Torres still has it, looking for an option. On subs Vincent for Ohio State. She's got it. She'll take it across the midfield line. Going past the Seapaw, moving with speed. Switches it to her left hand. Down to GLE. Buckeyes just passing it around. Again, they've kind of ran their offense just like this all day. Just trying to tire out Cincinnati.
Patience is kind of what Ohio State's offense is doing. Just wait. Take your time. See what you can find.
Buckeyes looking for some room. Bearcats still standing tall. Now ball is knocked away. It's on the... It's called. Cincinnati trying to get away with it. Can't do so with Solar. She... offensive possession and get a fresh shot clock.
Yeah, Solar almost had that. Wasn't able to corral it and move it forward, so Ohio State was able to take that possession back.
Buckeyes again now moving slow. No need for urgency. They have it at GLE, spinning around trying to find room. Couldn't get the dodge. Now Buckeyes have it up top. Stone cutting inside. Now Stone passes up. 50 on the shot clock. Now Buckeyes finding crossbar, ball on the ground. Fight for it. Cincinnati will retreat. Lets Ohio State have it.
Just kind of resetting their defense there, creating that wall again.
So Ohio State again at the outer fan. Now they'll get it down low. We've seen a couple of dodges come from X. Now wide open, now on the crease. And right there, it's a crease crank for Campbell Stone.
Stone just able to sneak right in there, right past the defense. Nobody, it almost looked like her speed kind of sneak right in there and score a goal right in the right side of the goal.
So the Buckeyes will take a 3-1 lead. Looks like we will have a timeout here on the field. Just while we have a second here, we do want to mention that today's broadcast is presented by El Vaquero, authentic Mexican dining just steps off UC's campus on Short Vine. Visit Street. Again, that's 2845 Short Vine Street, and follow them online at El Vaquero Clifton. El Vaquero, the best in Cincinnati. And we welcome you back here live from Nippert Stadium. Colin Kunz alongside Hayden Ducker on the call as the Cincinnati Bearcats taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Coming out of the timeout here, Ohio State has the advantage 3-1, just finding a score there by Campbell State. And Ohio State looking good early. Cincinnati not able to find much on offense so far this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking a lot about Cincinnati's offense, but Cincinnati's defense, sorry. But Ohio State's defense has just been an impenetrable force for Cincinnati. They've had a couple possessions, but it's either led in a turnover or a missed pass that hasn't really worked out for them. Ohio State's also leading in possession time. The
draw is up and away. Official will take time. Looks like down on the ground is Simmons for Ohio State. Might have caught a stick to the face. She's holding her mouth. The officials will hold play up here as she heads to the sideline. Looks like she's okay. She walks off under her own power. Both teams will sub.
Yeah, that happened right in front of the official, so they had a very clear view of it and was able to make sure that she got off the field and was safe before they continued play.
Ohio State will take over on offense, look to extend their 2-point lead. We'll see what they can do here. Cameron Callahan's got it now. She passes it up top. Moneymaker has it. She passes it over. Buckeyes keeping it on the outer arc. Now they have it in the Cincinnati painted end zone. Now dodging, taking close side. Nice ball knocked away. But Ohio State able to re-corral it. Now Moneymaker steps up, now passes off. Ohio State's got it far side of the field. Hargraves has it, passed it back to Moneymaker. Thought about driving, didn't do so. Now Callahan has it. She took a drive inside. Bearcats standing tall on defense. That was LaRuffa on the defense. Now Callahan has it again. Again, couldn't get a shot off. She'll pass it out to safety. And looks like we will see a foul is called. And looks like that one was called on Callahan, so she will be the one taking the free possession shot here. She'll have a chance to get a goal against her own team. And she does
gets
so.
It.
Bounces it off the ground up to the top of the goal. Finds a goal for the Buckeyes, extends their lead up to 3.
Yeah, Cincinnati's goalkeeper was ready for a corner shot. One of Cameron's signatures is that corner shot, but she was able to bounce it and kind of trick out the Cincinnati's goalkeeper, make her think that it was going to be in the top or left right corners, and able to bounce it in and right past the goalkeeper's mitts.
Definitely a great decision there by Callahan. You don't expect the bounce shot very often. And that one's got to feel good for Cameron scoring against her former team.
Oh, yeah.
And the Buckeyes will make a change for the draw control. Abby Boyle now will come out onto the field. She only has 2 draw controls on the season. She is matched up against Hansel, who will stay out there for Cincinnati. Ball is up in the air and straight into the stick of Keels.
Perfect draw control by Hansel, able to just flick it right up, right into Hansel's.
Ball now passed out to Counts. Now Bearcats will settle it down, look to work on offense. Simpson has it. Now pass it to Keels. Now back over close side of the field with Wolf. Bearcats just passing it between the 3 up top. Now they'll get it down low, and just a missed pass under the stick of Stelzer, and ball flies out of bounds.
This is what I mean by Cincinnati is just kind of having these unforced errors almost when looking at Ohio State's defense, just passing it away, not able to control the ball that they'd like to in this game.
Ohio State trying to move quick with it. Now they'll slow it down as they get some offensive players onto the field. Buckeyes passing it, keeping it close side of the field. Now they'll go far side.
This is the same setup where you've kind of got Ohio State outer ring of players just kind of passing it around, looking for a opening, and you've got an inner ring of Cincinnati players.
Now driving inside, shot not able to come from Stone. Ball is knocked away. To safety, being run down by an Ohio State offensive player. Now LaRuffa passes it out, gets it to safety in the stick of Wolf. Wolf now, cross-field pass. That one was from a mile away.
Big pass by Wolf. Able to cross the field and to some speed for Cincinnati.
Now Cincinnati moving quickly. Fedorovich couldn't quite get the shot off. Shot here. Bearcats only with 3 shots on the day. Cincinnati keeping it slow. They'll work between those 3 up top.
Just kind of slowing down the pace here. Trying not to force errors on themselves here.
Double teamed, loses the ball, picks it right back up. Now passes out to Stelzer. Now Bearcats get it back up top. Keels has it, corner of the field. She's at the 15-yard line, top side. Now passes it over to Stelzer. Stelzer trying to dodge. Can't find any room. She takes it down to GLE. Trying to wrap the crease, can't do so. She passed it up top, skip pass to Wolf. Wolf taking it inside, pass on the crease, spinning around, shot. That one falls for Kozina and the Bearcats.
Just barely able to get that pass in. Kozina just to the goal.
So Bearcats finally able to put together a strong offensive possession there and looking a lot better than their past couple.
Yeah. Slowed down, controlled. Wait for a moment to happen, and when that moment's there, strike. And they did so in that possession.
Through contact, definitely a good one for Cincinnati. They'll cut the lead down to 2.
Yeah, just kind of spun right past that defender. I would say there was more technicality on the pass in than it was on the shot almost.
Yeah, definitely, and finding that cutting pass is exactly what you want to do if you're the Cincinnati offense, and was definitely prosperous there. Big collision on the draw. Looked like Wolf hit the floor, but she's able to collect her stick and get back up. On offense with a 2-goal lead. Buckeyes have it center of the field. We'll pass it over to Callahan. Now Callahan gets it down to GLE. They've liked working this close side. Callahan again has it, can't get a shot off. She'll pass out to safety. Trying to make a dodge. Ohio State still just working it around. Has it at crease, now a cutter in the middle of the field. Pass dropped. Able to be picked up by Fedorovich, who gets it to her goalie.
Yeah, Cincinnati worked with a little more pressure there, able to kind of double team as the Buckeyes tried to pass around, and they just had the numbers and were able to create an errant pass for Ohio State and
causes the turnover, and now they'll work on offense. Look to build on their past goal. Bearcats have it at X, now wrapping around. Now they'll get it up top. Top side corner with Keels.
Ohio State's defense is looking a little bit more wider than Cincinnati's. They're kind of working around that outer ring where Cincinnati was working on the inner ring, just kind of working with Cincinnati, almost in a man defense in a sense.
Selhorn has it, looking again for a cutter on the middle. Wolf was there, but very good defense being played by Ohio State. Hargraves was able to get her stick in there, knock the pass away.
On target, Ohio State just able to knock it over with the stick and scoop it right up and create it.
Buckeyes now on offense. They'll look. Just taking their time right now. Moving slow. Looks like they'll wait out till the end of the first quarter.
Yep.
Won't even attempt to shoot here towards the end of the first quarter. And the end of the first quarter will expire with Ohio State up 4-2 on the Bearcats. Buckeyes so far looking good on offense. Cincinnati still trying to find their way. Don't go anywhere. We'll join you right back here on Bearcats Sports Radio. And we welcome you back here to Nippert Stadium as the Cincinnati Bearcats taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Buckeyes with a 4-2 lead over the Bearcats. And both teams, similar shot selection here, but a little bit of the difference in the keepers.
Yeah, it's kind of been a tale of two keepers for the first quarter here. Both teams have similar shots. The Buckeyes with 5 shots, the Cincinnati with 4. Both teams. Cincinnati hasn't been able to make any saves, and so all 4 of. Meanwhile, for Ohio State, Torres has been able to save 2 of those goals, and that's kind of been the deciding factor here with the Buckeyes standing at 4 goals and Cincinnati only at 2.
So we will start off with an Ohio State possession, and they will look to extend their lead. We'll see what they can do here on the first offensive possession of the second quarter. Buckeyes have it below the goal. Now they'll pass it out. Now Ohio State has it up top, working at far side of the field, driving downhill. Shot is scored by Cameron Callahan. That's her second on the day against her former team.
And another bouncer for Callahan, too. Bounced right into the net. And as I said, Cincinnati's keeper just having a rough day of things, not able to make the saves that she really thinks that she can make and has the ability to make.
So Cameron Callahan picking up her second on the day. Now maybe starting to find herself a little bit of a rhythm here.
Callahan was one of the better scorers in Cincinnati when she was a player here, and now kind of going to Ohio State and being one of their best scorers.
Buckeyes do extend their lead up to 3 goals. It's 5-2 Ohio State advantage early here in the second quarter.
It almost seems with Callahan that there's some familiarity on this field. She's played here plenty of times and is kind of able to navigate a little bit better than some of her teammates and make those plays.
Ton of contact on the draw control, but Ohio State ends up on top. So they will continue here and look to build on their offense.
Yeah, Ohio State's been winning the draw controls, something that Cincinnati's not typically used to. So starting on defense is kind of, I think, maybe worn out Cincinnati and surprised them a little bit as they are working to play against Ohio State here.
So Ohio State will continue to keep the ball on the perimeter. Still not much urgency like they've played all afternoon. Bearcats will be looking to try to disrupt things as much as they can.
Yeah, as I said already, Ohio's just playing with patience and waiting for the right time to strike.
Ohio State finding a pass. Callahan's got it. Tried to drive inside. Now retreats back out. It looks like we will see a foul is called.
Yeah, Ohio State kind of put the pressure on of the inner box there, and that's kind of what drew the foul for Cincinnati. They kind of had to take a step back.
We'll see if she can bury her third for the day. Callahan steps up, takes a shot, and she has a hat trick already.
Another shot, not even a bounce shot for Callahan, just straight into the middle of the net. Kerr not to make the save. Callahan able to celebrate just by slamming her stick down as one normally would do, so that the ref could go check it.
So the Buckeyes, and already looking good against her former team. We'll see how many she can rack up today.
Yeah, this has just been her day. She's able to kind of make moves and distract Cincinnati's defense and kind of score almost at whim here.
Cincinnati keeping Hansel out there for the draw control. Ball is up in the air. Didn't go very high. Hansel able to catch it into her stick immediately. She passes out to Simpson. Simpson spins around, retreating. Now takes it forward. Works towards the... Now Bearcats have it deep in the end zone. Now try to bring it across GLE. They'll pass it over to Peck. Now get it up top. Trying to drive inside, now steps back out was Wolf. Now Bearcats getting it close side of the field towards their bench. Now they have it down low. Stepping up is Kozina.
Yeah, Cincinnati kind of working with a little more urgency here. They seem to be weary of the score and the clock, but also trying to work their way in here.
Simpson downhill, nice dodge, shot on goal. Great stop made by Torres. That one towards the middle of the goal. Torres stepping up and stopping it.
Yeah, another save by Torres here. That was almost directly at her, so she was able to track the ball down and get it into her stick without any problem.
Ohio State still trying to get it across midfield here. Cincinnati not making it easy for them. Double teamed on the sideline is Wright. Wright finally able to get it across. Now gets it to Ohio State offense. Now Buckeyes have it down low under the goalposts. Now they'll just spin it around up top, keep it moving. Now trying to find something. They'll pass up top. Shot coming from way far out. Save made. And grab it. Kerr now being double teamed. Has to pass it away.
Got an open net here too for Cincinnati.
An unfortunate mistake there by Holloway. Kerr passed it to her, but she was out on the inline. So that will be a turnover on Cincinnati, and Ohio State will get the possession right back.
After a really good save by Kerr, she now has to refocus her mind and work on potentially making another save here.
Ohio State with a new lease on life here after the turnover. Inside is Stone. Stone shot, no bounds. Buckeyes were closer to it, so they will take over. Ohio State still trying to move it around. And nice stick there by Wolf. Was able to jump in and grab it. Now takes over for Cincinnati.
Yeah, Ohio State, right, they'll pass around for a little bit right until they're able to jump right in there and take a score. An errant pass by Cincinnati turns the ball over, and Ohio State gets a third possession here on offense.
Yeah, another just mistake there by the Bearcats, again turning it over. And Callahan actually had a look on goal, but Holloway was able to step up one-on-one to defend her and actually force Buckeyes have it with Tyak. Now they'll pass it up top, working it now far side of the field. Now on GLE, trying to drive inside, can't do so. They get it back down to X. Now again, wrapping the crease. Couldn't spin around. Now again, a cutter on crease, shot on goal. Save made by Kerr.
Two really good saves by Kerr here to keep between Ohio State and Cincinnati with the Ohio State lead. She has been struggling as of late, but it seems like that might turn around.
Bearcats looking to clear it up the field. The stick of Simpson. She just holds it for a second. We'll wait for some of the Cincinnati attackers to get on the field. Now Bearcats have it far side of the field with Selhorn. Selhorn looking for a pass. Now runs it in herself. Now again looking for a pass. Gets it far side of the field to Peck. Peck one-on-one. Dodging. Now takes top side. Now up top, passes it off to Wolf. Wolf goes down low. Still can't find anything. Ohio State staying tight on defense. Wolf looking to get it to somebody. Does so.
Yeah, Ohio State seems to be just playing sticky defense here. Not really letting any easy pass or easy shot go their way.
Bearcats again now have it on the 10-yard line. Mario's got it going downhill. Now takes it center of the field. Passes off to Selhorn. Selhorn with a burst of speed. Shot on goal. That one is scored. And Paige Selhorn finds a goal for the day.
Yeah, Selhorn able to just kind of whip that ball in there. Ohio State's Torres thinking that ball was going to go on the left side, and Selhorn was able to whip it right in that top right corner to bring the score 3 for Cincinnati and 6 for Ohio State.
And again, Selhorn there shooting through some contact. She hit the floor afterwards, but got right back up afterwards to celebrate the score. And a very nice one coming from the sophomore attacker.
Yeah, I'd almost call that putting your whole body into that shot, making sure that it goes right where you want it to go, even if you can't actually see the shot go into the net.
So the lead is still Ohio State by 3 points. They're up 6-3 over the Bearcats. Ball on the draw control up. That one into the stick of Moneymaker, who is right there uncontested to pick up the ground ball. Now Moneymaker with speed far side of the field. She finally passes off to Tyak. Buckeyes have it behind the goal. Now they'll pass over to Paz. Ohio State up top. Now Cutter, pass just a little too high and outside, not able to get it. They'll save it, though, before it goes out the end line, and they'll retain the possession.
Yeah, it looked like the Buckeyes, despite losing the ball there, Cincinnati kind of stayed in their inner circle. They'd have the ball there.
Ohio State trying to, again, find a little bit of a break in this Bearcats defense. Now pass high, way too high, going towards the sideline. Can they save it? They cannot. Ball goes out of bounds with a little bit of assistance there from the Bearcats, a little bit of a push towards the end of the play.
Yeah, that time Cincinnati defender Barhorse was able to just kind of force the turnover.
Now Cincinnati was trying to move quick, but maybe a little too quick as McCullough stepped up and forced a turnover. Now Ohio State, just like that, is back on offense.
Now we can take a breather here as a timeout is called.
Yeah, looks like we do. Both teams will step into their huddles here late in the second quarter. Again, it's Ohio State up 6. When we join you back on Bearcast Sports Radio. And we welcome you back here live on Bearcast Sports Radio. Here for some mid-afternoon women's lacrosse. Cincinnati Bearcats taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes. We'll come out of the timeout here with the Buckeyes still on top 6-3. They will be taking over on offense. So we'll see what they can do, see if they can extend their lead out any further than 3 goals.
Yeah, that last possession there was like 3 fast breaks between each team, both with 2 of them with a turnover. So it was good for the coaches to kind of create a timeout, give their players a breather, and reset for this offensive possession for Ohio State.
So we'll see what Ohio State looks to do. They've liked cutters so far today. We'll see if they continue with that theme.
Yeah, they've right before there's a goal, they usually have 2 or 3 cutters. Pass it in so that they can kind of create some confusion for Cincinnati's defense.
And it looks like we just had someone cut across the field. Not sure exactly what happened, but it did stop play as someone, not an official, just ran across the field during play, and now they will head up the Nippert Stadium steps. Now we'll get back into action here on the lacrosse field.
Seemed to me like he was just cutting across the field just so they didn't have to walk around. Wasn't really sure that there was a lacrosse game on, just kind of was like, you know what, I'm going to do it, and there's nobody here that can stop me. So,
well, back to the Ohio State offense. We'll see if they can get something going there after the brief stoppage. They have Vincent. Now she passes it around, now far side. Ohio State looking for a cut, now driving in with Stone. PLE pass wildly errant, just a little too far outside. Headed towards the restraining line, but the Buckeyes were able to pick it back up.
You got 3 crossers coming in here again for Ohio State. None of them get past you. We've got a lot of motion in the inside box here for Ohio State.
Now another cutter. It's Callahan. She finds another one. That's her 4th on the day.
Just barely sneaks it past Cincinnati's goalkeeper. She had her foot on the right side of the goal, but Callahan able to sneak it right in between her foot and that goal post for her 4th goal of the day for Cameron Callahan. Seems to be just excelling against her former team. As I said before, just kind of knows the defense and is able to attack it in a way that Cincinnati seems to not know how to deal with.
So Cameron Callahan already having herself quite the day. Like we've said, that was her 4th. Putting things together here against her former squad. Now out on the draw, ball is up. For it, ball still on the ground, heading towards the Cincinnati defense. Ball, and they're still fighting. Heels, and now they'll look to get started on offense. Bearcats bringing it around. Down 4. 5 minutes, 11 seconds left to go in this first half. Bearcats have it up top with Peck. She takes it far out. Now center of the field with Wolf. Now she passes over far side to Keels. Keels coming downhill. Now she'll pass it behind the goal. Nice play by Ohio State defender, but loses her edge. Able to recover. And looks like we will see a foul called. That one coming on Lily Stelzer, who hit the floor after the play. Ohio State trying to recover, just got a little too aggressive with the defense.
Yeah, Ohio State just kind of tripped Stelzer up as she was trying to make a break for the goal there. And Stelzer tried to make the shot, and it ended up with an errant shot, but now she has a free possession here.
So Stelzer with a chance here to get Cincinnati a little closer. Looking for their 4th goal on the day. Waiting for the all clear here from the official, and Stelzer will pick the ball up. She gets ready, takes her stance. And there is the all clear. Stelzer steps up, rifles one in, gets it straight past the stick of Torres, and the Bearcats have another goal.
Yeah, both teams scoring very well here on their free possessions. I don't think that there's been a single one that hasn't ended up in a goal thus far. And Stelzer with another one straight up into the corner, guiding the goalie with her eyes one way and shooting in a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, both Bearcats and Buckeyes able to take advantage of their free possession shots, and that's exactly what you want to do, especially in a game like this where it's going to be close. You want to take advantage of everything that you can get. So Stelzer does find her first on the day there with the free possession shot. Bearcats get within 3. The score is 7-4, Buckeyes advantage. 4 minutes 40. Now out on the draw, we'll see what Cincinnati can do. See if they can get their offense rolling again. Ball up in the air. Bearcats not able to control it. She'll get their offense moving.
Yeah, despite Cincinnati scoring here, they haven't really been able to cut into the lead by Ohio State. Ohio State has been kind of scoring a point, and Cincinnati's always lagging behind, but still kind of keeping the game tight.
Ohio State here, again, no need for urgency. Might as well burn out as much of this shot clock as they can. Hold on to their lead going towards halftime. Buckeyes will just pass things around, not even really looking to get a look at this moment in time. Bearcats defense coming out, trying to spread a little wider. We'll see if they look to force it.
On Ohio State to make them not just pass it around, because Cincinnati will want another possession here before the end of the half.
Side, haven't seen any of those cutting looks yet, so still not really trying to get a shot.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, they're just burning the clock here, and Cincinnati's letting them.
Now we see a cutter come through for Ohio State. Now it looks like they'll get their offense in gear a little bit. LaRuffa steps up with some good defense. Now we see another cutter come through. Pass was there, but there was no shot. Now wrapping the defense. Cincinnati staying very tight. Ball dropped on the floor. Now picked back up. LaRuffa stepping up. And looks like we will see a shot clock violation. So Ohio State will take over.
Yeah, Cincinnati has possession here, but the clock is not on their side, so they're going to have to hurry up here a little bit on offense to try and create some pressure and some offense here before the end of the half.
Cincinnati will look to clear. They find Peck coming on the field. Now they'll pass it down low, and we saw a cutting attempt come, but the pass was too high. Ball on the ground. Ground ball picked up by Callahan. Now she'll go the other way with the Ohio State offense.
That's the opposite of what Cincinnati wanted. They all cut in to the goal to try and create the pressure, as I said, but in a pass too high, cleared over all of the attackers' heads, and Callahan for Ohio State able to just scoop it up, and now it's Ohio State's offense. And as they were doing before, they're just going to let time pass it around the.
So 2 minutes, 14 seconds left to go in the first half. Buckeyes have 60 on the shot clock. We'll see if they just continue to waste it out like they did on their last possession, or if they try to move. Wrapping the crease, now passes up top, coming downhill.
There's
Shot comes, top left corner for Moneymaker.
I mean, that was a shot that was just there, and so she took it. It wasn't even a shot that Ohio State was trying to draw up. Moneymaker just saw the opportunity, and the ball was in her top right corner of the goal.
Very nice shot there coming from the sophomore midfielder, and extends the lead back up to an Ohio State 4. Buckeyes lead 8-4 over the Bearcats.
Yeah, Cincinnati just struggling to chip away at the Buckeyes' lead. Every time Cincinnati makes a shot, the Buckeyes seem to respond, and so Cincinnati's just not able to get back into this game almost.
Just under 2 minutes remaining in our first half of action as the draw control begins. Ball for it on the ground. Looks like it goes into the stick of Hansel. Hansel now passing it off, and Stelzer has it for Cincinnati. We hear whistles on the field. Gina Thomas.
Just kind of taking the time out so that they can catch their breath and get ready for an offense and draw up an offensive possession where hopefully they can score a goal here and have the game at a 3-point game instead of a 4-point game heading into the half.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Cincinnati is going to try to look to do whatever they can here to find 1, maybe 2 goals if they can to make this. Of course, you kind of want to get a little bit of that momentum back on your side if you're the Bearcats.
Yeah. A momentum that's kind of just been on the Buckeyes side this game, especially with Cameron Callahan at 4 goals, essentially matching the Bearcats' goal percentage. It's clear that the Bearcats are missing her and that she's kind of excelling almost on the Ohio State side.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about Callahan being one of the bigger stories. I mean, she really has made her name known out there on the field. Granted, I guess the fans here at Nippert Stadium probably already Buckeye, but she really has played a great game already today.
Yeah, you'd think Gina Thomas, Cincinnati's coach, just kind of grumbles a little bit at the fact that she had to let her go and that she wasn't able to keep her on Cincinnati's side.
So the Bearcats will break out of their timeout. Ohio State close to follow. And we'll see what the Cincinnati offense can do here with the remaining 1 minute and 44 seconds left of this first half. We'll see if they can find maybe a goal, perhaps two, towards the later stages of the half.
Yeah, what Cincinnati is going to be looking for here is hopefully a quick foul so that they can get a free possession, and then a turnover by Ohio State so that they can get two quick possessions and they don't have to worry about time too much.
Ohio State still looking to get their defense set, and the ball will start at the middle of the field for the Bearcats.
Ohio State with a 3-1-2 defensive setup here. 3 in the front, 1 in the middle, and 2 in the back. More by the goalie here.
Minute 30 left to go. Horn shot too high and outside. That one way off target.
Yeah, that's one of those shots when you're thinking so much about time that you kind of take a shot that you really wouldn't have earlier in the game, earlier in the half even. And Cincinnati's lucky that they're able to get the possession back, but that's one that Selhorn wishes she had back.
Yeah, Bearcats were able to be back there. They were closest to the end line, so they did keep the possession. The Bearcats have floor, no foul called. Now Keel's trying to find some room, can't do anything. She passed inside. It looks like we will have whistles. We'll wait to see the call here from the official. Looks like there was a foul called on the play. It looks like Paige Selhorn potentially took a little too much contact, and now she will step up for a free possession shot.
This is exactly what Cincinnati wanted. Selhorn with the quick point, and now that they're going to try and force a turnover for Ohio State and try and get a second one to bring this Ohio State lead down to 2.
And Selhorn there with a very quick shot. She stepped up right away, sent it to the goalie's right corner, right past Torres. And that, like you said, is exactly what Cincinnati needed. Lead now down to 8. If they can win this draw here, could potentially find another goal. They'd be in a lot better shape going into the half down 2.
Yep, they're about 9 seconds, if that, to get the ball back once they get the ball back. So this is a big draw here for Cincinnati.
Draw up in the air, ball headed towards the sideline. It's on the turf, now headed out of bounds. Bearcats trying to save it, not able to do so. Looks like Wolf was pushed out, so Ohio State will take over. There's 30 seconds left in the first half. Ohio State can waste out the entire shot clock if they want.
Yeah, and Cincinnati knows that, so they're going to try and put on defensive pressure as much as they can, while also trying to avoid a shot.
Ohio State driving inside, just wanted to take the shot. It was Tyak finding a goal here with only 15 seconds left to go in the half. Ohio State could have spent all of it, but decided they wanted the goal instead.
Yeah, Ohio State just trying to increase their lead, keep it at 4. Keep it at 4 goals. Ohio State chose, as you said, opted not to waste out the entire clock and chose to be aggressive here. And Cincinnati wasn't expecting it and was able just to kind of for the offensive possession.
And out for the draw at this point, Cincinnati is just trying to stop the damage that Ohio State has inflicted so far. 10 might be tough for the Bearcats to get a shot off. Trap down towards the sideline, and Barhorst will hit the floor. 1.7 seconds left to go in the half.
Yeah, Ohio State not happy with that call there. There was a foul on the trap with Cincinnati's Barhorst falling over, and it was right in front of Ohio State's bench and head coach, and neither were very happy with that call.
And Cincinnati will just hold it out here for the end of the half. So going into halftime, Ohio State up 9-5 on Cincinnati, and the Buckeyes just kind of had an answer for everything Cincinnati has tried to do.
Yeah, despite being the away team here, it seems like Ohio State just has complete control of the field and is able to just kind of pass it around and take shots as they please, and almost all of them have been by Ohio State.
Well, teams will head into their locker rooms. Ohio State again up 9-5 over the Bearcats. We will take a quick step aside here from Bearcat Sports Radio and get ready to join you back for the second half of action.
Welcome back to Bearcat Sports Radio. I'm here with Colin Kunz here. Kunz? Kunz, yeah. And we're now switching off, so I'll be on play-by-play here. Ohio State's kind of taking control of the game here and kind of done whatever they've wanted with Cincinnati, up 9-5 here as we start the second half. It started as a tale of two keepers, and it's just become the Cameron Callahan game. Callahan now with 4 goals, the best of her season thus far, and just kind of exploiting the defense that she had become accustomed to at Cincinnati.
Yeah, Callahan has definitely been one of the biggest catalysts in this game. She's been a true star for the Buckeyes, and that's kind of what we expected coming into this one.
Yeah, Cincinnati, there was won the draw, and Cincinnati elected to kind of take a foul so that they could set their defense up. As Hansel kind of runs back and Cincinnati's defense sets up here. Cincinnati in a different defense than they were before. Now looking at a 4-2 now with lining up on that inside fan. So Ohio State passing around the outside fan here, looking to just kind of create opportunities for cutting inside. Still passing around the fan, just waiting for opportunities to present themselves.
Bearcats here still staying in a tight man defense.
Getting toward the end of the shot clock here for Ohio State. Trying to pass it in. Not able to do so. Cincinnati able to scoop it up and create a turnover against Ohio State. A good defensive possession for Cincinnati there.
Yeah, and there again we see that cut coming from Ohio State. They just kind of look for space there, center of the field. We've seen them do it a couple of times. We've seen that look, and then we've also seen them look to kind of fake that cut inside and pass it outside. But that one just the pass off the mark.
Yeah, Cincinnati's Federovich with the ball, passing it to Simpson. Carrying the ball into the outside fan here. Looking to create some pressure on Ohio State. Still passing around the fan. You've got a kind of a bit of a crowding on the inside fan here for Cincinnati as Selhorn takes the ball into herself, tries to pass it inside, not able to do so, and Ohio State able to scoop the ball up and create another empty possession for Cincinnati.
And like you said, the Bearcats were all kind of bunched up inside that outer fan, and Selhorn there was just kind of trying to sell out. You only have really one option to counts, and Ohio State saw it all the way. And when that pass hits the floor, then you don't really have any other options.
Yeah, just able to read their defense, almost like read the offense, almost like a book. Ohio State now passing around, waiting for offensive play to set up. We've got a cutter inside for Ohio State, asking for the ball, not able to get it. Cincinnati able to close that passing lane up. Having to escape out. Hargraves with the ball, passing it around. Ohio State's looking for a look, not able to see one, not able to see a good passing lane.
And Cincinnati here has kind of started to cheat a little bit on the defense. We've seen a couple of double teams come.
Yep. Cincinnati with a good deflection on the passing lane. Cincinnati's defense is kind of stiffened up a little bit here in the second half, not allowing any easy looks by Ohio State. As Ohio State just keeps passing around the outside, looking for a crease and not able to find one. Shot here by Ohio State. She walks it in, and it's deflected by Cincinnati and then picked up again by Ohio State. just to get shot right back in, and a goal by Ohio State. They were able to just scoop that ball right up off the deflection of Cincinnati. And that one was in the top right corner right for a goal for Ohio State.
Yeah, and all around just a wild possession there. We saw Maeve Simmons originally with the shot. She was coming downhill, sent one fast, and it was a very nice stop made by the Bearcats, actually with a keeper change. That was Mielke who made the stop. But on the deflection, I mean, that's one of the most chaotic moments in lacrosse when you kind of deflect that. Nobody really knows where the ball is at. So Ohio State was able to pick it up and just find a quick score right there on the putback.
Yeah, Coleman able to just scoop that ball up in the frenzy of bodies trying to get that goal and scoop it right up and score. Ohio State with the win on the possession here. Now working to be a little bit faster, loses the ball. Hargraves for Ohio State loses the ball, and now it's Cincinnati possession, working over to the right, trying to force their look to potentially make a shot before Ohio State could set up, and opted to pass it around, let Ohio State's defense set up so that Cincinnati could set up their offense as well.
Bearcats just kind of been stagnant on offense all day today. We see this bunch look again now.
Off the mark, but able to pick it back up as Cincinnati was the closest to the ball as it went out of bounds. Selhorn with another shot, blocked by Ohio State's goalkeeper. Ohio State very happy with that. Ohio State's goalkeeper just been really good all day, all evening.
Yeah, you got to give props to Torres on that shot save, because that was a beautiful shot, beautiful play overall by Selhorn. She was heads up, saw the cut, just kind of beat her defender a little bit, caught the pass, put one on cage, but a very nice stop by Torres and the Buckeyes.
Yeah, as Ohio State was trying to come back down on offensive possession, there was a turnover, just kind of lost control of the ball, and it rolled out of bounds to become Cincinnati's possession. So they almost have a free possession here, able just kind of a second shot at the goal here after a really good save by Ohio State. Get a shot, able to miss the shot, but Ohio State closest, so Ohio State gets the ball there. Selhorn with a shot that she thought that she had a good look, but Ohio State was able to kind of block it there.
Yeah, and it looks like now the Cincinnati offense is trying to work their way through Paige Selhorn. I mean, that's one of the players you do want to look to, and definitely a couple of good looks there. I think Selhorn was actually looking for a cutting pass, but the ball was just a little too high and goes out of bounds. But definitely Cincinnati trying to find some better looks here.
Yeah, Selhorn with the ball just up and away. Ohio State now with the ball. Tyak looking to pass it around. Just kind of picking and choosing their battles, Ohio State is. Now that they're up with the possession, they don't have to worry as much about making goals as far as just getting good looks and getting clean looks. Callahan with the ball, passing it around. Callahan with the ball again, makes a shot, blocked by Cincinnati. The goalkeeper's foot just kind of kicked it out.
Yeah, and again, there we see that cutting look, but you got to give props to the Cincinnati defense. Looks like it was Barhorse there on the contest. Just able to get her stick in there, create some pressure, knock the ball away, and prevent the shot from Callahan.
Looks like we've got a couple more cutters here for Ohio State, trying to confuse the defense. Moneymaker darted in from the backside of the hoop of the net, walked it in, and just able to create that. There was a little bit of pressure, but she was able to just whip that in, and Ohio State now goes up again, now up by 6.
Yeah, and that was a really nice look there coming from the Buckeyes. They're able to just kind of get under Holloway and Cincinnati. All you really need is a step, especially when you're working right there on the crease. Kind of just spin around and find a look, and you're right there on crease. That's a really hard shot for a goalie to stop if you can get your hands free and get a shot off.
Yeah, almost right in that blind spot for Cincinnati. Cincinnati's goalkeeper, it's hard to look at how an offense is setting up while you've got two offensive players right on that crease behind you, one of them with the ball. So just kind of not able to see her as she was coming in, and sure enough, she just walked right up and got it right in the goal. Well, we're going to step aside here as Cincinnati's got a timeout, and we will be right back. Welcome back to Women's Lacrosse here on Bearcast Radio. Ohio State now up 11-5 against Cincinnati here in Cincinnati. Cincinnati still has Hansel up for the draw, and the Bearcats and the Buckeyes, after making the switch to Boyle, seem to have stuck with her as we get ready for the draw here. Draw goes up. Hansel able to corral it and runs it over to the right side as she looks for a passing lane and passes it over as Hansel runs and subs off. Hansel seems to essentially be the specialist for Cincinnati with these draws here. As soon as those draws happen, she subs right off, and she subs on for the draws themselves.
Yeah, and Hansel has been really great. Them matching, or actually won over the Buckeyes 9. Cincinnati offense.
Yeah, despite being on offense first, Cincinnati hasn't really been able to do anything with it and is just kind of staying stagnant. As there's a missed pass by Cincinnati inside the inner fan, and they're just kind of passing it around, looking for a look. They thought they had one, and they weren't able to do so. As Peck has the ball, trying to create a move, create some distraction. Another bunch look for Cincinnati. As Selhorn controls and passes it to her left.
Yeah, and one of the struggles today for Cincinnati has just been kind of some of the self-inflicted mistakes that they've done. A couple of these turnovers, just passes a little errant, kind of shooting themselves in the foot a little bit.
Yeah. Here's another one. Keels had a look. She tried to pass it over to Peck, but it just kind of went awry, and Peck had to just control it, and they had to change possession on a shot clock violation. So Ohio State now with trying to bring it in, but pressured by Cincinnati. Schumer by Ohio State struggling a lot with this Cincinnati midfield defense, and we've got a lot of bodies here trying to corral the ball, and Ohio State able to clear it and reset for an offensive look.
Yeah, Bearcats there with great job on the clear defense. We saw Selhorn come in first to knock the ball away, and then Simpson kind of stepped up as well to force some of that pressure, but Cincinnati just not really able to finish the job. Kind of backed off, let Ohio State have that ground ball, and now let them set up their offense.
Yeah, Ohio State now passing around the outer fan, now in the back end zone, top of the fan now. Looking for a look here. You've got a player in the middle inner fan. We've got another inside look by Ohio State. That was Tyak with another pass and a block and a save by Cincinnati. So Cincinnati able to create an empty possession for Ohio State. Cincinnati now looking to clear off to the right side.
Yeah, and on that shot there, we saw first a shot fake come, or a pass fake come, and then an actual pass to Tyak, who was wrapping the crease. And the Buckeyes have done great down low there, right on the crease, scoring today. But a really nice job there by Cincinnati to step up and make that stop.
Create points out of this possession. As they're passing it around, looking for a look. Cincinnati now bunching in the inner fan. Seems to be that Simpson struggling with the outside, not able to get it in. A passer defender. Wolf now with the ball, trying to work around the crease. Passes it to Stelzer, who tries to work around the crease on the top side, able to work around the crease and just bounce it in. And Stelzer with a goal of her own.
Yeah, and Stelzer there was able to kind of cut back a couple of times. She cut to her left, then to her right, then back to the left. Was able to sneak a low shot, kind of unorthodox. You don't see that come very often. And the goalie, Torres, certainly wasn't expecting it either. She shot underhand and just snuck it right past the legs of Torres to find that goal.
Yeah, it almost looked like she nutmegged the goalkeeper there. Looked like she was going to be on the right side. Looked like she was going to pass it across the inside fan, and actually shot it underneath and was able to create a goal there, create some offense for Cincinnati.
Much needed goal there for the Bearcats. Still the lead is 5 for Ohio State, and Cincinnati really going to have to move quickly here if they want a shot in this game.
Yeah, same two girls on the draw there, able to throw it up, and Cincinnati able to win the draw for that possession there. Pasa working with the ball, turns the ball over. Now Ohio State. And Cincinnati has to rush to make their defensive look.
Spot that you want to be if you're trying to clear the ball up the field. You get locked in on that sideline, one of the most dangerous spots to be. You can get the Buckeyes able to force that turnover, get the ball back, and look to continue their offensive dominance.
Yeah. Buckeyes just wrapping around the inside fan, passing it around, just waiting for an opportunity to present itself, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. A triple team against Vincent for Cincinnati. She's able to pass it out, and Ohio State keeps the possession here. Still passing it around the inside fan. Vincent with another shot. And she banks it in right. Just kind of walked it right into the middle of the inside fan and shot it on the left side. Just not able. Cincinnati's goalkeeper's reaction time, just not even able to create a efficient save on that one.
Yeah, great work by Vincent going downhill there. She took kind of that. She had that split dodge. She went left hand to right hand, back to left hand, and the Red Sea kind of just parted for the Buckeyes, and Vincent able to find a nice shot there and extend this Ohio State lead back up to 6.
We've got a change for Ohio State on the draw. Seems to me that they now have Paz out there on the draw. Cincinnati keeping with Hansel for their and lead to more draw wins for Ohio State. And Hansel control not fruitful for Ohio State.
And Hansel's a really tough player to compete against. We talked about that pregame as well, how positive she's been for the Bearcats this season so far in their first 3 games. And Hansel's just kind of continuing to keep things up for her.
Yeah, Cincinnati now with the offensive possession, able to clear it over, and are now working around the outside fan. Just kind of Selhorn with the ball now, passes it inside, and able to create a goal with a goal. This will be her second goal of the match here.
Yet honestly, just kind of a mess of a play there. Was chaos in the center of the field, and Wolf was just right place, right time. And it was almost like what we've seen Ohio State do all day today is get those shots real close on the crease. Wolf was there able to just pick it up and find one top right corner of the goal.
Yeah, this will be the first time that Cincinnati has scored 2 goals in a row, kind of biting away at the Ohio State lead here. Lead still stays at 5, but just kind of locking down on defense, Cincinnati is, and working, kind of getting a little bit of wiggle room on offense. As Cincinnati wins the draw again, just Hansel just with a really good job of winning these draws here.
And again, you see Hansel, she pops the ball up and was able to reach one arm out and just catch it one-handed, and that just goes to show the skill of what she does out there on the draw control.
Yep. Cincinnati now passing around, looking for an offensive possession that can come out with another point here. Working back in the logo area, now passes up to the right. Seller just kind of holding the ball,
Yeah, looks
waiting.
Like Bearcats just going to wait out the quarter here.
Yep. Cincinnati with a good third quarter here. Coming out of the half, just with some pressure. Everybody just kind of standing around waiting for the clock to wind out as we've got a couple seconds now, and now we're at the end of the third quarter. Cincinnati thought about having an offensive possession there, pass it around a little bit, and just decided to wait for the end of the third quarter to commence.
Yeah, it looks like Cincinnati, they're just deciding to take their time. No real need for a shot, no need to turn the ball over, and might as well just go into the fourth quarter, start off with a fresh possession, and look to potentially cut away this lead if they can. It's 5 goals for the Buckeyes, but still possible to overcome that if you're Cincinnati, if you can get your offense moving quickly.
Yeah, and Ohio State has won the last 3 quarters. Cameron Callahan came in essentially knowing Cincinnati's defensive scheme and thus knowing how to exploit it, and they've been able to calm Callahan down in the second half here, but other players on Ohio State have stepped up and it made it difficult for Cincinnati to really create good offense and thus good defense as well. And we will take our Ohio State up at 12 against Cincinnati 7. Welcome back to Bearcats Radio. Start of the fourth quarter here. Ohio State up against Cincinnati 12-7. Cincinnati made a goalkeeper change going into the second half from Kerr to Milky, and she hasn't had as many attempts, but she's already got a save here in the third quarter, and seems to be playing a little bit better than Kerr was.
Yeah, and I think just Cincinnati overall as a whole defensively has played better. They've kept their shots off their goalie. Like we said, Milky only with one attempt and a save at that. But Cincinnati overall defensively stepping up, and that's what they've needed to do. Now they just also have to step up offensively to cut away this lead.
Yep, Cincinnati with the offensive possession here, working to cut inside, and they lose their possession. It almost looked like an intercepted pass there by Cincinnati. Ohio State now with the ball, trying to work, let them cut across the field, and they pass it to one of their faster players, and they're able to just get over to the offensive side with ease. Ohio State now on the right side.
If you're Ohio State, as much of the shot clock as you can. If you find a really good look, then you can take a shot. But there's no need for urgency at all, being up 5 now, stepping into this fourth quarter. You just want to minimize mistakes and really only score if you get a great look. Yeah.
It's in Ohio State just working around their outside. On the outside fan, looking on the crease here. Tyak working around the crease on the top side, trying to pass it in, and they get a score. Tyak just able to pass it in and create an opportunity for Ohio State to score.
Yeah, and I mean, that's exactly the look that you're looking for if you're Ohio State. That's the perfect look that I was just talking about. If you have someone open or with a little bit of room on the crease, didn't do a good job defending the right hand there on Ohio State. And if you got your right hands free, you can take that crease.
Yeah, Cincinnati not able to play defense as they had in the third quarter. Just felt a little bit out of sorts there. Callahan with her, what, 5th goal?
I do believe that was her 5th of the day.
Yeah, 5th goal of the day here. Just as we've said already, exploiting Cincinnati's defense, knowing where the holes are and creating space for it. Ohio State wins the draw. Now on another offensive possession. Cincinnati already on the ropes here, just kind of trying to limit the scoring of Ohio State. As Ohio State passes it around the crease here. Now on the outside of the outer fan, working towards the inside, back to the crease for Ohio State. Back to the outside of the fan. Just kind of passing it around, waiting for an opportunity to present itself. Building a little bit more pressure here. Now on the inside fan. And there's a foul on Cincinnati.
And wow, I just thought that was some great defense coming there by the Bearcats. Looked like a really nice. Thought Wolf was able to get a clean knockaway, but maybe too aggressive.
Yeah, now Ohio State's Hargraves with a free possession, and that's the first blocked free possession, but it gets blocked right into. Just flick it right back in there. So Ohio State comes away with the point on the free possession. It just wasn't on the initial look.
And it looks like that was actually an own goal on Cincinnati. It back to her goalie, but it bounced off the net of her stick and went into the goal. And really unfortunate turn of events for the Bearcats.
Yeah, just these self-mistakes, unforced errors by Cincinnati, not helping themselves in this matter. Now down 7 against Ohio State. Another draw here that Ohio State wins. And Cincinnati with a quick foul so that they can run and set up their defense. Again.
I think Hansel there might have actually had her stick too high, caught the head of a Buckeye. She will actually take a seat down there on the sideline, and Cincinnati will be 2 players down right now. The other yellow card came on Solar just a couple possessions ago. Looks like that was a non-releasable. So now Cincinnati playing 2 players down.
That's not what Cincinnati wants. In this game, trying to come back on a 7-point game here. Ohio State just passing around the outside fan, waiting for an opportunity to present itself. They're up a girl, so just kind of waiting for a hole to happen. Callahan tries to run it in, gets triple teamed, is able to dribble it to another player, and we've got an Ohio State player down on the field.
This looks like we will see a card come now for the Buckeyes, as they will have a player take a seat. So now Buckeyes Bearcats each have one down there in the penalty box. The other Bearcats penalty did get released, so they do get a player back there. Now both teams even, just each down one.
Cincinnati with ball possession here. Just kind of waiting for the ref to release to give the all clear.
Yeah, and really Cincinnati, I mean, to get to this point on offense, you got to give props to their defense. 2 players down, they're in that really wide zone offense, or zone defense, sorry, working that box. And it's really difficult when you're in that position. Ohio State's got 2-player advantage, but Cincinnati was able to collapse 3 of their players. Kind of a risky situation, but they were able to prevent that pass out and force a turnover.
Yeah, Ohio State now 2 down. Must have been 2 cards on that last play. And so now Cincinnati will be up 1 player here on their offensive possession.
And Cincinnati has to take advantage here.
Looking to on the crease. Pass on the inside by Stelzer, and it gets blocked by Ohio State. So a good defensive possession for Ohio State, down a player.
Yeah, and if you're Stelzer there wrapping the crease, you cannot shoot at the middle of the goal. You really got to look high or low, and it's tough in a situation like that when your nerves are up, you're running fast and just want to get a shot off, but you really got to.
Yeah, Ohio State now with the defensive possession, working on the right side. Just kind of working around the outside fan, just passing around, taking their time, eyeing the clock. They know they've got plenty of time. They're up by 7. They know that Cincinnati has the pressure to create turnovers, so they're just kind of playing keep away almost, waiting for an opportunity to present itself. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. The time is on Ohio State's side.
And that penalty does get released for the Buckeyes. And the Bearcats there really should have been double teaming a lot more. When you're up a player, you want to kind of send the house at whoever has the ball. But Cincinnati not really to take advantage of the player, not really to take advantage of being a player up there on defense. And now with the release on Ohio State, we're all even.
Possession just kind of whips it in there for a goal. That's Coleman for Ohio State with the free possession. Just kind of scores in that and just takes a couple steps and whips it in there.
Yeah, another score there for Ohio State, and things starting to get out of hand here in Nippert Stadium. Buckeyes up 15-7 on the Bearcats, and it's almost out of reach at this point.
Yeah, Ohio State's starting to sub a couple of their players with a little bit less experience into this game here, just so that everybody can play a little bit. Hansel on the draw for Cincinnati again. Draw goes up, and Hansel able to take possession of it. Both teams with their sticks in the air waiting for the ball to come down, and Hansel able to take control of it. Cincinnati now passing it around on the outside fan. On the top of the fan here, passing it around over to the crease. Just kind of walking it around. Now on the inside fan, looking for a spot, having to pass it out, looking for a spot to shoot, not able to. Cincinnati's Lexi Wolf with the shot, missed wide, and Ohio State with the possession. And now Cincinnati having to resort to fouls so that they can stop the clock at least a little bit.
Yeah, and Selhorn there trying to defend Torres, going after her stick, trying to knock the ball away. I think her yellow card there, and Cincinnati will yet again be down another player.
That's one of those moves that's just like desperation. Trying to force a quick turnover and not able to. Ohio State now with the possession in the back of their end zone, having to move the entire length of the field here, but doing it with ease. As
yeah, and Cincinnati now defensively again going to have to drop into that zone, being down a player. They did so very effectively last time they were down. We'll see if they can keep that success up here.
Yeah, Ohio State passing it around on the outside fan, looking for the hole. Cincinnati in their wide zone. Now in the back by the crease, passing it out to the outside fan. Now in the middle. Back to the crease. Looking for a pass in. Passes it in, and Ohio State's Cameron Callahan with her 6th goal of the game here just knows how to. She's just having herself an incredible game, just on her having the best day ever almost.
Yeah, really great day for Callahan and a really good offensive play there for Ohio State. They started bringing a couple players into the middle of the field as time went on. They brought a couple in there, didn't look to pass to them, and then they sent one more in there. 3 Bearcats defenders swarmed on her, just wide open, and that's about as easy as the shot gets, especially.
Yep, Callahan now with her 6th goal of the day. As we've already seen, her season total, kind of creating a mark that'll be hard for her to beat later in the side here for a little bit. Welcome back to Bearcast Radio. Women's lacrosse, 16 points to Cincinnati 7. Cameron Callahan with another goal, making her tally up to 6 goals on the day here. Not only the most on her team, but just one below the entire team of Cincinnati. Won by Cincinnati's Hansel as they work over to the left. Just kind of passing it around the outside fan. Now on the crease. Almost intercepted by Ohio State, but creates a foul. And Abby Hawes by Ohio State is going to go take a seat here as she fouled Selhorn for Cincinnati.
And now we're really just seeing a lot of the aggression come towards the end of this game. Didn't see much of that at all in the first half. But really, as we've gotten into the late stage of the third quarter, late into the fourth quarter, we've seen a lot more of that aggression come from these teams. Not sure if it's maybe they're frustrated or a little tired, but either way, we've seen a lot more of these cards come.
Yeah, Cincinnati passing around the outside fan here, as they've done the last few possessions, just just trying to find a good possession here. They're going to have to start forcing shots here coming up soon if they haven't already. A pass inside to Kuroko for Cincinnati doesn't amount to anything, and we've got another errant pass by Cincinnati that was kind of blocked up top. Tried to pass it above the net and blocked on up top by Ohio State, and Cincinnati's able to recover it. Try and find another offensive look.
Yeah, and that was actually great work by the Ohio State defense there. Every defensive coach is going to tell you sticks up, keep your sticks in the lane to make that center pass very difficult, and that's exactly what Ohio State did there. They kept their sticks in the lane, were able to force the ball out of bounds. It was a tip, so Cincinnati holds on to it, but that's exactly what you want to do defensively for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, Cincinnati's been just trying to find a look and something to create a pass or a shot, and just Ohio State's not been able to. As Cincinnati tries to pass it in, and Ohio State blocks it, but Cincinnati and Ohio State just kind of fighting for the ball here, fighting for control in the back of the goal, back behind the goal line, and Cincinnati able to win it just barely.
Looks like it was almost a shot clock violation, but they'll say the possession changed, so Cincinnati does actually get a fresh full shot clock.
Another shot by Cincinnati's Haley Joy Simpson that is off to the left, and Cincinnati's able to recover it and pass it back out to the outside fan here.
Yeah, and haven't actually seen as much of Simpson as I would expect today. She's been one of the bigger players for this team, but that was only her second shot of the day for Cincinnati.
Create a shot herself, doubled on the inside fan, and foul by Ohio State, leading to Selhorn now with a free possession here.
Yeah, and Selhorn really just playing her heart out today. She's been one of those stars for the Bearcats. She's looked great all day, and a chance to add to her goal total here.
Selhorn with a shot, and it's blocked by Ohio State. Tried to run it in and shoot it as close to the goal as she could, and it was just blocked by Ohio State. Just kind of read her as she was running in. Ohio State now working left to right with the ball here. Passes it to another player as she avoids the double team. But Cincinnati able to knock the ball out of Ohio State's stick and gain a possession for themselves as they have to now pass around to avoid Ohio State defenders.
Yeah, and a very nice stick there from Lexi Wolf. Able to throw her stick in there, force that turnover, and now get Cincinnati another offensive possession.
Cincinnati now working around the outside fan here as both teams have done throughout the game. Just kind of waiting for a hold or crossers to come in. Crossers do start coming in. Cincinnati just not able to find a good passing lane or a good shooting lane to create some offensive pressure. Now on the inside fan, back to the outside fan, just trying to create pressure herself. Cincinnati just barely able to get in there and make a shot to kind of from a blowout to something where you could be a little bit more proud of it.
And way to take advantage of a bad situation there if you're Paige Selhorn. She actually got tangled up in her own feet, fell down to the turf, and as she was getting up, she passed to Kozina. The two Ohio State defenders were too busy looking at Selhorn, who was on the ground, and Selhorn kept her head up. She said, hey, I'm just going to keep playing, and found a cutting Kozina, who had her arms wide open.
Yeah, it was almost a deception play with the Cincinnati player falling down, gathering the attention of all the Ohio State players and able to create a gap for a shot there. Another draw that Ohio State now, there's a fight for it in the center, and Ohio State scoops it up and is able to work their possession on the right here.
And Ohio State able to get a rare draw control win. There's kind of a fight for it afterwards. Cincinnati looks like they could have had it for a second, but Ohio State with a little bit more fight and able to take over there. Now kind of as we're getting to short time here, Ohio State again just going to look to extend out these possessions, kind of end out this game with a large lead.
Yeah, Cincinnati's playing good defense. As I say that, Ohio State passes it in across the crease and scores. They've been just playing keep away from Callahan, who had 6 goals, and it's created these opportunities for other Ohio State players who maybe wouldn't have the opportunity to make shots on goal to make them, and that was one that happened. Now Ohio State's big bench reaction from the goal here. So maybe a more unexperienced player was able to create offensive pressure and create a goal there.
As number 26, McKenna Harrington on the goal there. She was cutting right towards the middle, and a great find from X. Just the pass to Harrington, who immediately got the shot off, and that's exactly what you want to do if you're cutting in that position. You can't give the defense a second to get a hand on you, so you just catch it, you shoot it right away. Maybe not as much power, but if you can put it in the right spot, you're going to find a goal all day.
Another draw control for Ohio State, as they're trying to the more draw controls that they win, the more time that they're able to burn off, and so they're able to they're just passing it around the outside fan here, just seeing if they can create another look here to just pass it in and score.
Yeah, and Cincinnati, who does actually have the draw control advantage on the day, 15-12, they were dominating early in that department, but now, yeah, like you said, towards the end of this game, when you really want, they really can't quite reel them in, and Ohio State starting to take over in that department. They've cut it down to a 2 draw control advantage.
Possession for Ohio State, number 30 is able to bring it in and score. Another huge reaction from Ohio State's bench for a player who typically doesn't get a lot of time. Osborne for Ohio State, not in the starting lineups, hasn't even started a game for Ohio State, now able to create another goal for Ohio State to just kind of make this game out of reach for Cincinnati.
Yeah, Ohio State just piling it on here. Now they're up 10 goals. Being 10. Looks like we're headed towards the end of this one soon. But yeah, Osborne, I mean, again, just with a really nice shot on the free possession. Just, again, good placement. Looks like it was high and over the stick of the goalie, Mielke. And that one put it at a 10-point advantage for the Buckeyes.
Another draw control for Ohio State. It almost looked like Cincinnati was going to have it at first, but Ohio State able to scoop it up on the left-hand side. Now just working around on the right, trying to create offensive opportunities for themselves. Cincinnati trying to create some defensive pressure, but looking a little bit out of sorts. As Ohio State continues to pass it around the outside fan here. Drain the clock. And another goal for Ohio State. She was able to just bounce it in there. They pass it into the inside fan, and she just bounced it in, and another goal for Ohio State.
Yeah, and Ohio State here just going for style points at this point. Tyak with her second on the day. There was actually, I mean, that's a tough shot through double contact, but there's actually a 5-second discrepancy in shot clock and game clock, so the Buckeyes could have just held that out. Extending that, we're gonna walk out of here with a stylish win.
Yeah, almost just showing the regional dominance. There's a little bit of rivalry between these two teams because they're so close to each other, and Ohio State's like just trying to show Cincinnati that they're here and that they mean business.
Yeah, absolutely. This little sister type of deal with the Bearcats and Buckeyes as the clock does hit double zeros there.
Well, and our finale of the game here, it'll be Ohio State 19 to Cincinnati's 8. Ohio State just controlling the game the entire way. Cameron Callahan leading all scorers with 6. And they just kind of had their way with Cincinnati today. even when they started putting in some less experienced players, and they were still able to just find holes in Cincinnati's defense and create scoring opportunities.
Yeah, overall, just a very coherent game for Ohio State. And like you mentioned there, Callahan, double hat trick, 6 goals on the day. Probably one of her better performances, probably one of the better ones of what this season will be for Cameron Callahan, and a great game to have it against her former team in the Bearcats. But yeah, like you said, overall, Buckeyes just putting together a strong game throughout, and especially so in this second half, just continuing to lay it on, outscoring the Bearcats 7-1 alone in the fourth quarter for that 19-8 victory.
Well, you've been listening to Bearcats Radio Women's Lacrosse, and we will see you next time.